In the past 48 hours, the world lost two men, which I think is cause for great relief and even greater satisfaction. In an Australian context, how pleasing is it to know that one of our most cruel, sadistic and torturous mass murderers has died of stomach cancer? His name, of course, is Ivan Milat, a twisted mongrel who murdered at least 7 backpackers, not before raping some of them, hunting some of them down in the sick game within Belanglo Forest, southwest of Sydney, and even executing them alive. In a failed attempt to coax a confession out of him just before he died, including information about other cases, detectives actually played Milat interviews that were recorded with the heartbroken victims' parents. Most of us have seen that, especially after their bodies were found. But this dirtbag didn't flinch one iota, heartless and soulless to the very end. Good riddance to evil rubbish, I say. Meanwhile, one of the most notorious terror leaders the world has ever known died by activating a suicide vest when confronted by a special forces unit in northwest Syria.
He died like a dog. He died like a coward. The world is now a much safer place.
Yes, al-Baghdadi was at the helm of the depraved butchers ISIS. He ordered beheadings, gang rapes, the burying alive of women and children, and the random execution and blowing up of Westerners abroad. But how's this for rewriting history and the truth? The politically correct, Trump-hating Washington Post somehow, well, they managed to find redemption for this despicable jihadist, posting an obituary which read, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, austere religious scholar at the helm of Islamic State, dies at 48. If that's his appropriate epitaph, I'd hate to think what they would have said about Adolf Hitler, maybe renowned orator, frontier adventurer possibly. Holy hell, this paper uses more inflammatory language towards the president than most wanted murderer in the world. Where do they get off? Now, the Post has since removed the descriptor, but no apology, of course. And the news couldn't hide CNN's dislike for Donald Trump either, even when he's talking about the brave special forces who found Baghdadi in enemy territory.
Would you anticipate inviting the special forces team to the White House after
Oh, yeah, they'll be invited. I don't know if they'll want to have their faces shown, to be honest with you. You know, they're incredible for the country. They're not looking for public...
All right, as the press conference and announcement turns into lesser matters about who will be invited to the White House to thank them.
Lesser matters. Even on the sheer news judgment alone, forget about having respect for the soldiers, that's worse. But finding out more about how special forces operate, whether they would turn up to the White House, surely is a must-watch. They make books and movies about these people. And as for Hollywood, someone had to cry over a jihadist's death. Jamie Lee Curtis tweeted, he may have died a coward, real Donald Trump, but all living things suffer when they're blown up. Anyone who has experienced warfare, unlike yourself, would know that. War is brutal. Dogs are brave, bold, loyal, loving and healing. This bloke was still ordering mass bombings from a hidey hole, Jamie Lee Curtis, and he blew himself up. He wasn't shot. That'll be the last time I watch A Fish Called Wanda. Anyway, it is a remarkable development when the head of this snake of terror is removed. Maybe even a major step in dismantling ISIS completely. Let's hope so. As for Ivan Milat, police still think he had many more victims. But sadly for their families, he's taken those foul secrets to his grave as well. Another argument, I would have thought, for introducing harsh penalties right around the country surrounding parole for killers who refuse to lead police to the bodies. All in all, a fabulous result in both cases.